Okay, we're back here ready for chapter 11. The chapter that is no longer in America. It is now resides elsewhere. In the region of Fort Dandrum, apparently.
Fort Dundrum, there's actually a bit to talk about here while we're going through this opening narration.
Sure.
About getting the right names for chapters 9, 10, 11, mostly 10 and 11. So for chapter 11, you'll note that it's Fort Dundrum now, D-U-N. And after some detective work, I looked at the Japanese characters for how the fort was spelled. And it seemed closer to Dundrum than Dandrum, and I was like, okay, is this a reference to something? And after some internet detective work, it in fact is. I am reasonably sure that Fort Dundrum is a reference to the town of Dundrum in modern-day Dublin, which used to be a fort, like dating way back to the 8th century, and the name Dundrum in Irish even means like the Ridge Fort. So with all the other Irish mythology references in this in Yugdrall, I'm reasonably sure that it's a reference to that town. So it's Dundrum, and Noel Valley was its own puzzle to unravel. It was so bizarre having Christmas Canyon in the middle of all this, because you think Noel, you think Yule time, and after some digging, the characters used for it can mean Noel, yes, but they can also be translated as the masculine and feminine English forms of that. Noel, N-O-E-L, itself is French. In English, those names are Noel and Noel. They sound the same. There's a feminine and masculine version. A little more research uncovered that there is a document known as the Noel Codex, N-O-W-E-L-L, Noel Codex, which is the anthology of literature in which the epic poem Beowulf was preserved. It's so famous for being the source of Beowulf that it's often just referred to as Beowulf, even though it has other works of literature in it. And given that Beowulf is a character in FE4, and there's already so much Irish mythology going on, I'm reasonably sure that the canyon was named as a historical reference to the anthology of literature in which Beowulf was preserved, hence Noel Valley.
Damn, and I always thought of Christmas for some reason. But I guess this is another way to go for it.
Yeah, a lot better than Christmas Valley and Fort Dandruff.
For sure.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Thank you for listening to my TED Talk on the names.
I've already told you, the enemy out of nowhere to attack Fort Noel. If you don't send reinforcements, General Largo is as good as dead. Just say the word, and I'll lead our troops to stomp out these invaders. Please, General Kemph.
You claim this enemy appeared out of nowhere to besiege Fort Noel, but who exactly were they? Remind me, what was your assignment again? I'm just a lowly general of House Frege, and these little details escape me all the time. Oh, wait, it's coming back to me. Reconnaissance, wasn't it? I'm fairly certain that was it. Oh, but that doesn't make sense. If your duty was reconnaissance, surely you'd come to me with more than they just appeared. So either my memory has failed me, or you're such an incompetent soldier that you failed to gather even the slightest bit of information.
I came here to warn you precisely because there was no time to do anything else. Listen to yourself, you're badgering me for needless details. All our borders are under attack. Does it matter who the attackers are?
And what if this attack is merely a ploy to lure us away from the fort? Did you consider that, girlie? Fort Dundrum earned its reputation of being impregnable only because House Frege's 12th Battalion is here to guard it. Without them, the fort is mere stone and slate. If I don't have complete information on our enemy, I can't chance deploying the 12th Battalion. It would weaken our position.
And what of General Largo? Perhaps sending the battalion out there is a risk, but he faces certain danger at this very moment.
What's one or two old men in the grand scheme of things? Besides, how much time could he really have left anyway?
What? General Kemph, even now, you...
The glare you're shooting me is almost treasonous on its own. I've had men executed for much less brazen displays of disrespect. So before you back up that glare with equally traitorous words, let me warn you. You're very close to insulting the chain of command. Are you truly willing to defy your superior officer? It's amusing watching you squirm, I admit, but exercise some reason. Are you really up to the task, knowing what the Empire does to traitors? Is that it? You got quite the mouth on you, but no spine to back up your words. You're a simple girl who got into Belhalla's military academy on the prestige of her blood, not the skill of her sword arm. So naive, so oblivious to the way of the world. You're lucky to have a commanding officer as understanding as I. Don't worry. I never expected much of you. I know that your only real weapon is to go begging your brother for help.
What did you just say to me?
You're hard of hearing. I said that all you're good for is to go crying to Reinhardt.
You!
Oh, how he must dote on you. Then again, Reinhardt's greatest skill is knowing how to lead women on.
Hold your tongue, I will not stand here and let you dishonor my brother. This is unforgivable. Have at you!
Ha! You dare to draw your sword on me? You feeble-minded wench. Men, seize Olin and throw her in the dungeon for this act of rebellion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, General. Lady Olin, in the name of the Empire, you are under arrest. Drop your weapon.
General Kemph, how contemptible. No, I got eaten.
So as you can see, Kemph is different. That should put the impertinent little girl in her place. And if his own sister is executed for mutiny, Reinhardt will no doubt be stripped of his rank as well. Oh, the look on his face when he hears of this will be quite the spectacle.
I love how he dismounts.
Oh yeah, that's a nice detail.
General Kemph, explain yourself.
Alfred, my dear boy, you look different from your usual self. Is something amiss?
Yeah, I'm dismounted. It sucks.
I also changed my name. Don't play dumb. Why have you done this to Lady Olin? It's a violation of our military code to punish a subordinate over a personal grudge like this. You have a responsibility to overturn this. Please, sir, release her at once. Otherwise, I have no choice but to report this matter to Princess Ishtar.
Personal grudge? What nonsense. Right where you're standing, Lady Olin drew her sword against me, her superior officer. She meant to kill me.
What? That's not possible. She never.
Alfred, since you're so well acquainted with our military code, what's the punishment for turning your sword against the superior officer? Because I seem to recall that it's a crime punishable by execution.
So that's your goal, is it? Your cowardice knows no bounds.
Be that as it may, as Olwen's adjutant, her duties now fall to you. I command you to ride forth and engage these invaders in her place. But be warned, this isn't merely an order, it's a punishment. You are not permitted to retreat for any reason. See the battle through, regardless of the outcome, or I'll have Olin executed.
Kemph, you're shameless.
Did you say something? Oh, must have just been my imagination.
Alright, chapter 11. So, as I said, we agreed that we only really need to show this and I guess the portcullis attack, and then we should be okay. I think there's like more Kemph turn 2 or so, maybe turn 3.
Yeah, when he tells the soldiers that he's got a plan.
Cool, he's got a plan, the man with a plan. I like a man with a plan, that's good. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
In localization, in localization. Oh, that's a small graphical glitch we haven't been able to narrow down there with the menu. Anyway, so with Kemph in localization, he still does the same things, and his sentiments are the same, but I made the decision to greatly expand his dialogue and make him even more condescending than he was in the script. He doesn't go on quite so long for he's winding up for the punch with Olin, right, for so long. He's like, what was your duty again? Was it reconnaissance? Well, that can't be it, because you have no information. He's winding up for the punch. And I wanted to make Kemph distinctive from Raedric in that he's like a cat playing with its prey, right? Like a cat toying with a mouse. He is prone to long bouts of sneering condescension and isn't afraid to take his time to insult someone.
We'll see about that.
What's this? The enemy flies the twin banners of Najoran and House Leonster.
I think it's Nyoran.
Are they being led by a boy? Why, he can't be more than 14 or 15. I've got swords that are older than him. Ah, I see. This must be the wayward Prince Leaf. First Olin and now Prince Leaf marches right up to my doorstep. The gods are most generous today. This is my chance. All hands, hear me. I've a plan for just such an occasion as this, but for it to work you must lure the enemy to the east, and don't be too obvious about it. Prepare to launch Operation Portcullis.
I like this better than the old translation because I think it pretty much just says use portcullis attack. It's like Squirtle, use bubble beam, that kind of stuff. It's much better.
Yeah, he again, like with Escape in Chapter 4, there's the little box quotes around portcullis, and it's clear from the punctuation in the Japanese text that he's using a code name. So I try to approximate that by calling it Operation Portcullis. It gets the same thing across. He's using a code name for a more complicated plan. And for the unaware, a portcullis is the name of the great gate of a castle. Not like the one that lowers down to cross the moat, but the one that looks like a grate that's like metal beams interlocking. That's the portcullis. It's a castle gate, and it's a clear reference to how they'll use gates to box Leaf's army in to fire arrows at them. So it's a fancy word for Operation Gate, basically.
Operation Gates. It does sound like Kemph to make up that kind of bullshit. Just for Operation Gate.
Kemph has a word of the day calendar, and he is determined to use it. So Kemph, I took great liberties with him. Well, not tremendous, because he's still doing the same thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, he doesn't feel that different to me, so feel free to explain what those differences are.
Yeah, mainly that his text is greatly expanded. He enjoys toying with people, like he leads Alfred on, well, since you're so well acquainted with the military code, remind me, whereas he's like, I'm sure you're aware, in the text, he's like, I'm sure you're aware that that's punishable by death. So he takes a little bit more time to wind up. He likes toying with people, was the major change I made for him. And I did that to better distinguish him from Raedric, because we have a lot of villains, and their personalities can be somewhat similar. They're Saturday morning cartoon villains, they're evil, they're semi-competent, and the player needs to hate them. They're a goal for the player to push towards and want to defeat. So it was there to make him a little bit more distinctive. And I should note, this is a really odd inspiration for a translation of a 20-year-old Japanese exclusive Super Nintendo game. But a major inspiration on Kemp's personality was actually the character of Bill Rawls from The Wire, particularly Rawls' attitude in season 3's Comstat meetings. He would take a long time winding up to the punch and toying with people, and I tried to draw on that for this.
See.
We saw very. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead. If you were gonna say something, please keep saying it, because I have nothing interesting to add to that. Because I don't know what the wire is. I don't know anything. I'm just trying to get Safi to A stabs. If you're curious, so I can work with her at the cost of her hammer and staff. Poor girl. Come on, get A rank already. Hurry up. Or I'm gonna need to Krash to explain to me how to get Rick staff misses real quick if this keeps up. I can always use the magic up staff that now has a different name, I guess.
Oh yeah, the Ensorcel staff.
Ensorcel, yes.
I think we explained that before you started recording
Yeah,
this
I didn't
part,
record that, so you can re-explain it
which
if
we
you
took
want.
from Tearing Saga, who uses the Ensorcel name for a staff that has the exact same effect. It's +7 magic to a given unit. And in Tearing Saga, magic works just like here, where your res stat is based off magic, although Tearing Saga res is half your magic, so res exists even less than usual. And yeah, we use that here because the direct Japanese name of this is it's literally just like M up, or magic.
Yeah, it's like magic up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we felt like it would be better to make it more interesting. But my
Yeah,
favorite part about
it's misleading because it doesn't convey that it's also a resistance boost.
yeah, and my favorite part about the staff is the village that gives it to you, because you rewrote that to make it.
Oh yeah, I went full f***ing designs with that one. We won't be able to show that off here, but that's our little kernel. Is either
Yes.
go play Chapter 10 for yourself, or go look at the scripts. I post the scripts. They're in the Fire Emblem Universe thread and in the Serena's Forest thread. And take a look at what I did with the guy who gives you the staff, because there was nothing going on with his dialogue, so I just scrapped it and rewrote it with a humorous anecdote. He literally just says, "Oh, you must be the Liberation Army. I'm rooting for you. Here, take this staff."
Wow, how very interesting. But you obviously
Yeah.
don't want to spoil what you turn it into, because you want people to download the patch and try it out, right?
Yep, that's a reason. That's how we hook you in.
Yeah, that's how they do it these days.
If you take a look at the status screen for these enemies, you'll also see that they're identified as Frisia's 12 in Roman numerals. The reason we had to use Roman numerals is because of the menu font we have currently. DDS will help us get a better one, but the one we have currently, there were only so many unique combinations of characters we could combine, and Roman numerals were ideal for expressing lots of different numbers, and all of Frisia's battalions are recurring antagonists, so we needed to fit in around 15 different names for, like, 1st Battalion, 2nd Battalion, 7th Battalion, 12th Battalion. It goes all the way up to 30, and there's like several of them, and Roman numerals were ideal for like preserving text space, because of the way they do place value. You don't have to make a new one for each number, like 19, 20, 21. It's just like XX, and then you can use that for a lot of things. There was also a mistranslation in the script. They translated the battalions as legions, which, that's their choice, whatever. But they also said that they mistranslated it as saying that there were 12 battalions stationed here, rather than the 12th battalion was stationed here. It was a little odd to see him saying, like, "We have 12 armies stationed here. I can't send one of them out." What? You can't spare one of 12?
I mean, it would be in character of Kemph to really want 12 armies here, just in case his personal security is being threatened, but I do like the solution better, yeah. That does sound like
Yeah.
it. Okay, you ready for you ready for the bubble beam attack? I mean, portcullis attack? Let's move forward.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Behold a pale horse. Those dullards actually fell for it. All right, men, do it.
I like that word. Dullards. Oh yeah, who's Leaf?
I'll be Leaf. Do the Holy Blooded Knights of House Freach fight under such underhanded tactics? When our forces met in Noel Valley, I respected the honor with which your army conducted itself. It seems I was mistaken.
On behalf of my home, my honor compels me to agree with you. The Crusader Thrud would not have fought using such treachery. This is all because of that fool of a man, General Kemph. This disgrace is his doing. As a knight, I'm loath to give my life in service of such a foul plan. You seem to be an honorable lad. I've self-control enough to not turn my sword against you if you can promise the same.
If you've no mind to fight, sir, then we have no reason to meddle with you. In fact, we may even be able to help each other out. I'd wager the both of us have little energy to spare now.
Oh, I can agree to those terms. I have many things left undone. It's settled then. We can both agree that our time is better spent devising an escape.
Very well. My forces will storm the castle's interior in short order. When that happens, we should make your escape to the south. We can take care of the gate ourselves. Are we in agreement?
We are. It appears I owe you quite the debt. I'm Alfred, proud knight of House... I would know your name as well, friend. I don't know how to say that. Okay, yeah.
It's Leaf. Leaf of House Leonster.
House Leonster? I see. Well, Lord Leaf, I believe we'll meet again one of these days. And by that, I mean later today.
In a little bit.
I've many things left undone, like the Gaiden chapter. People did comment that, like, all right men do it sounded a little boring, and I'm inclined to agree. I wish I'd thought of it at the time. I think I'll change it in the next update to all right men fire at will, in reference to the ballistas.
Could be fire at will or drop the portcullis. Either works.
Something like that. But he does literally say, like, do it. It isn't anything flowery, like, execute the plan.
Execute Order 66. Okay. I think we'll chase off Kemph and then call it a day. Because freeing Fred takes a lot of work.
I like his basketball.
Alright, let's have Leaf have him then. This is why we got the warp. Good job, Staffia.
Staffia.
No,
what, you're gonna proc a move rate, a move rank up. That always happens to Krash in playtests.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, because whenever I was playtesting...
Oh, by the way, I forgot to show off the most important thing in the patch. You can read the menus.
Oh, yeah.
You can read the freaking menus.
We got
Oh, was that not even... Because I didn't play with the Shaya patch. Was the Shaya patch also...
Yeah, you can't read any of this shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It sounds like what he did was translate all the dialogue with disregard for if you'd be overwriting the memory in which the menu font was.
That is what it is sometimes. Anyway, who's ready for Kemph? You were a Kemph, right? Zero, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So much for the impregnable Fort Dundrum.
He looks so smug. Like, look at his portrait. I mean, this throne bonus is pretty impregnable. Oh, I hit him. Good job, Leaf.
The hit.
Nope, I'm afraid not. Anyway, let's see if Leaf dies.
So while we wind up, do either of you have any... Oh, here we go. Ugh, what a joke. I must flee this place, at least for the time being.
Goodbye.
Away.
See you in A routes. So yeah, you were saying...
Do either of you have any lingering questions for me?
No, not really. Just a lot of thanks for making this. I look forward to playing the whole thing. I know Mangs promised to play the whole thing when it's done, so we have that to look forward to. Is there anything you want to say to people who are eager to try this out? Anything you can promise them? Anything you don't want them to say?
Let's see. You are more than welcome to download the patch and play along as I release updates.
Oh yeah,
I think
it's up to chapter 11 now, I think, at the moment of recording. Or 11x even, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, just through 11.
Yeah.
11x is not translated yet. I really pushed myself to get 3 last chapters in before FE3, so I'm taking a little bit of a breather now, but I'll get back to it with chapter 11x fairly soon. I know a couple of people are playing it kind of like in episodic installments as I release updates, and that can be a fun way to follow along with it. I would say like it's a Telltale game, but that's somewhat of an unfortunate comparison to make now. Mind the known issues section. There are some parts that are still untranslated, most notably reactions to Leaf dying. Still trying to pin where exactly those are in memory, pin down where those are. I've mostly got them, I think. At this point, the only thing we really don't have is someone to help us insert edited images, most notably a translated title screen and a retranslated world map with altered names, place names like Dacia to Dacia. That was another historical reference, but we'll get to that some other time. Or Konot to Kanat or so forth. So if you know how to insert modified images, that's all we're missing right now.
Great.
I hope you have fun with it. I hope you really enjoy it. Thracia, it's kind of this weird hodgepodge of a bunch of different experimental twists on the Fire Emblem formula, and it's very unique. It has a very distinctive air about it, and I hope that I'm able to tell its story accurately and in a worthy way that keeps you entertained.
I think it will. I think Thracia probably the best ROM hack out there in the Fire Emblem world. I love it a lot. Also probably the best Fire Emblem game. Just gonna skip this and then we're good. We had enough talk for today. I am sore, but thank you guys so much for joining me and exposing this wonderful wonder to the world. And at some point maybe we'll have a complete Thracia patch and we will celebrate, and quite happily in fact. So yeah, thanks to you too, and thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
See ya.
Bye.